Bee suits tend to get dirty, really dirty. And a lot of people just wear their dirty bee suits and don't worry about it. Pretty much that's what we do. But you get to the point where, yuck, you just don't want to put the thing on. And the bees can smell the pheromones. It's a good idea to give it a good wash so that the bees won't be smelling that anger from those pheromones. The first step is taking off the hood. You just need to zip it off. Different suits have different ways of doing that. Jerry's suit here has zippers in the back. My suit, already in the wash, unzips at the front. So I've already treated my bee suit, pre-treated my bee suit. I'm going to do that now with Jerry's. It really helps to spray some pre-wash on the dirtiest parts. And then I'll let it sit and soak for a few hours. During that few hours, I'll be washing our hoods. I don't know where that kind of stuff comes from, but it must be something falling out of the trees. And no, you don't want that close to your face or your head. Obviously, you want to minimize any potential damage, so make sure the zipper's all zipped up. Okay, they've been soaking for about an hour, and I'm going to set the washing machine for the proper level. I'm going to put it on warm wash, cold rinse. Our warm water is not very warm at all. If you have a hotter warm water, you might want to do it on cold wash and cold rinse and delicate fabrics. So here we go. Next we add detergent, and I'll try to get this liquid detergent on the dirtier parts of the bee suit. We've been agitating for a little over 6 minutes. Now I'm going to push everything back down into the water and just let it soak here for an hour or so. The water does look rather dirty. When the washing machine finished its job, I put the bee suits into the dryer against the recommendations of the manufacturer, but I've done this several times, and it keeps the suits from stretching out if you hang them up dripping wet. So about 10 minutes on the low heat cycle. You'll probably immediately notice a difference between Jerry's hood and my hood. I have a round hood, and I also have a jacket like Jerry's that has a fencing hood. But when the bees are being particularly angry, I really prefer the round veil. I prefer it anyway because you get a whole lot more visibility. Sometimes the bees get inside your bonnet, and that happens, well, it happens to me when I haven't taken the time to zip everything carefully and to make sure that the zipper that goes up to my chin actually does go up to my chin. However, well, it's a little disconcerting to have a bee flying around inside your bonnet, but I have never been stung by a bee flying around in my bonnet. They want to get out of there just as much as you want them to get out of there. So the thing to do is just walk away from the beehive, take your bonnet down, and especially if you have someone to help you, get that bee out of your bonnet. Sometimes they get stuck in the back. It takes a little bit of effort to get them out, but so far I've never lost a bee, and I've never been stung by a bee in my bonnet. Enough about that. We're going to pre-treat our fencing veil and our bonnet style veil and skin oil can make them get pretty dirty pretty fast. And the headgear is now soaking in a solution of warm water and a little bit of ocean-friendly dishwashing detergent, the liquid kind that you just squirt in. We'll let it sit and soak for an hour or so. Both bonnets came out pretty well. That's just water. There are still some spots, but these don't care. Everything else looks really good. The bonnets were surprisingly clean, and I think it had a lot to do with the fact that I let them soak overnight. It's not perfect, but way better. So I'll rinse them off in some cool water and put them outside on the back porch to dry. And it might take a while because it's very wet today. Here they are, hanging on the back porch on a very wet day, but they did dry out by the end of the afternoon, and they were ready to go when I needed them. I was just really pleased with how clean everything was at the end of this little project. Clean hoods, clean suits, kind of miraculously clean, really, when I consider how little work this is. So I'm going to show you how to put the hoods back on to the jacket. If you're good with zippers, you probably don't even need to watch this. You can probably figure it out yourself, but I've always been intimidated by zippers, so I thought I would make it easy for anybody else out there who has the same zipper aversion that I do. So it's really simple. You take this tab, you make sure that the zipper part is completely locked together and aligned. It'll kind of click when you get it into the right place. Here we go. You slide the tab right in there. Ta-da! So easy. And then you hold it and zip it part way, and there you are. Now the opposite side has just the opposite orientation, but the same process. You just slide the zipper tab into the receiving part, and da-da-da, there you go, it's attached. Then you want to make sure, because there is a little opening there where a bee could get into your bonnet, you want to make sure that you have your Velcro tightly sealed. And now, almost completely, 100% eliminates the chance that a bee is going to get into your bonnet when you have it all the way zipped around. And make certain that everything is as close as possible. And then get your Velcro tightly sealed. No bees in your bonnet or anywhere else in your suit. I've already got my jumpsuit zipped up to the collar. And the mechanism here is different from the one on the jacket. Also, it's got metal zippers, and I'm starting to think that the metal zippers are a bit more difficult to work with than the plastic ones. They may last longer though, we don't know. This is a 1-year-old jumpsuit, and this is a 4-year-old jacket. Still in really good shape. But, all right, onwards. So here we've got the tab. Now the trick here is to make sure that it slides all the way down to the bottom of the second zipper part. Because if you don't, then you won't be able to unzip this part of this side of the zipper. So you have to get it all the way in. It's easy to get it into the first one, but sometimes the second one is a little bit tricky. So it's almost all the way, but not quite. If you have younger hands and younger fingers than I, this is probably going to be easier for you. All right, let's see. Here's where we are. They need to be aligned in order for the zipper to work properly. And I think they're pretty well aligned. Let's try it and see. Now this will zip very easily. That's a good sign. If it zips easily, probably have it adequately aligned. Okay, Velcro, both a blessing and a curse on your bee suit. So let's go ahead and zip this all the way around. Looks good. Now we want to make sure that this side's going to work, so we'll give it a trial de-zip. Come on, baby. Yes! Ho, ho, ho. My zipper phobia is slowly fading. Now, back to keeping the bees out of your bonnet. You want to make sure that everything is closed. So, once again, make sure that you've got your Velcro completely tightened down, and you should be a happy beekeeper in your safe, secure jumpsuit. I hope that you learned something from this. I hope that you don't have a fear of zippers, and that if you have a fear of bees, you feel confident that you're well protected from them. God bless.